When Marvel brought Robert Downey Jr. out on stage at San Diego Comic-Con to make the big announcement that they were changing the plan, that he would be playing Doom in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, they told us, hey, it's coming out in May of 2026. And at that point, a lot of people said, okay, that's a pretty aggressive timeline, but they can probably get it going. Well, considering the fact that they just started production on a cast list of about 50 different Marvel superheroes, everyone looked at that timeline and thought it's going to be almost impossible. And now Marvel has decided to do what a lot of people expected and push these dates. Yesterday, they made the announcement that they are delaying Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars to December of 2026 and 2027, respectively. And although December, historically, big time for massive movie releases, not really for Marvel. You know, the only one that's had that, and it was a really big movie, was Spider-Man No Way Home. Other than that, especially for these big Avengers movies, they tend to stay in that late spring, early summer type of time frame, the April, May, June time frame. But considering how much is riding on this and how much Marvel has just churned out shit over the last several years by trying to cram all these things in, by not taking their time, it probably does actually make sense. And considering they already have 2 flops in the books, and it doesn't matter how people tried to spin Captain America Brave New World, that is a financial failure. And of course, some of the spin for Thunderbolts is still ongoing, even though that movie might not even match Captain America Brave New World. And with another movie that so much is riding on in Fantastic Four coming out this summer, probably the right thing to do. Let's get into this. The Avengers will need a few more months to assemble. Disney has delayed the release of Marvel Studios' upcoming team-up features Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Doomsday is now set to debut on December 18th, 2026, moving about 7 months after its originally slated date of May 1st, 2026. To match, the follow-up Avengers Secret Wars is also being delayed to December 17th after previously being set for May 7th of 2027. Now, we weren't sure exactly how this affects other things. There will be a Marvel movie that releases in 2026. As of right now, that's Spider-Man 4. That is unaffected, so that will be happening before Avengers Doomsday as opposed to after, but that's a Sony production, not a Disney production. I will say the idea that this is delaying into the Christmas holiday corridor, it could have a big effect on a lot of other things that were slated to release during that time. Look at some of these things. Blockbusters releasing in theaters December of 2026. Shrek 5, Ice Age 6, so both of those, family movies, kid-friendly movies. Jumanji 4, I'm going to be real with y'all. I did not know Jumanji 4 was happening. I had no idea Jumanji 4 was coming out. But Dune Messiah, that is the big one. Dune Messiah was scheduled for release, during that time frame, December 2026. I would not be surprised if Warner Brothers blinks and moves that at this point in time. Thinking that you would have it, that it would be available like that, to now going up potentially head-to-head against an Avengers movie, the return of Robert Downey Jr., I would not be shocked at all if Dune Messiah, if Warner Brothers ends up moving the release of Dune Messiah. But obviously a lot of time between then and now, and everyone's saying the same thing. Hey, they want more time to be able to get it right, to not have to crunch with visual effects and blah, blah, blah. Overall, probably the right thing to do. However, it's now going to be a year and a half between Fantastic Four, which is leading up to Avengers Doomsday, and Avengers Doomsday. And look, these 3 movies that we're releasing this year, they were all supposed to, serve as the lead up to these Avengers movies that have had no build up so far because they changed their plans. No longer going with Kang, no longer going with any of this shit. No, instead you had Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. Those are your lead ups, and all those characters are going to be involved in Avengers Doomsday. It's going to be a long time between when we see those movies in the lead up and then when Avengers Doomsday comes out. But considering the hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars they're going to put into this movie, the fact that they need it to be massive, they need it to be one of the biggest movies we've ever seen in order to make their money back on this and potentially reinvigorate some interest in the MCU, probably the right thing to take your time. But we'll have to see when it comes out if it's worth the wait. December of 2026. now set for Avengers Doomsday. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.